Welcome back to LatiNation. I'm your host, Humberto Guida. Up next, we have Vinilo Versus, Venezuelan imports who have taken up residence in Miami. They are a band ready to take the U.S. by storm. Now, after years of work to become one of Venezuela's most popular rock groups, Vinilo Versus immigrated to the States due to Venezuela's national crisis. And while starting from zero in a new country might seem difficult, the guys at Vinilo Versus had a plan. They started by releasing their first album in English and touring the not-so-Latino parts of the U.S., except, of course, right here on LatiNation. Check it out.
Sessions is presented by McDonald's.
You'll never know until you try.
Hello everybody, we are Vinilo Versus from Caracas, Venezuela originally, now living in the US. Vinilo Versus started almost 9 or 10 years ago. We've recorded 4 albums, the first 3 in Spanish, and our latest album, our 4th album, is our first English spoken album. And it's been a ride, man. After the 3rd album, we decided to change it up a bit. We've had some level of success and sort of a platform to make a decision as to where we wanted to take the band. Doing this album in English felt like a true challenge to us.
Doing rock and roll in Latin America has always been a kind of a challenge because, on a way, rock and roll wasn't born there, you know? So we have had like to repackage it in a way, you know, or try to reinvent it in a way. And it's a beautiful way of trying to get something that isn't ours, but try to make it our own. Try to get all these Venezuelan roots, all these Venezuelan energy, emotions, of like what we've gone through that maybe here in the US you don't have that Latin vibe, you know?
Of all the places we could be, we are here and we are free. My friend, fate has
We're super proud to have been able to just press our values, integrate our values into this album as Venezuelans, as citizens, as musicians of the world, because we try to have that citizen of the world attitude.
Most of our shows, a lot of them in Miami, where there has been a big wave of migration. So when we play in Miami, a lot of times it is very like, oh, we're playing in Venezuela almost. But then, like, as soon as we move a little bit further north, then, you know, you start getting like this mix of people. Most of the people don't even know the band, and, you know, it's like a big surprise. And we play like as if we were an American band, and we throw like one Spanish song there, just like.
That's actually been so fun when we're on the road and we hit places like we played Charlotte a couple of days ago. And obviously Charlotte is a very white. But like none of the people imagined that we were a Latin American band with 3 albums in Spanish. So we played the entire show in English, and then just at the end, we just put a little Spanish. You see this stomped face on people's like, what? The song's in Spanish? And then we talked to them after the show. So in a way, it does feel like a debut album because we did it in English. Tricking our audience into that's been a blast.
Now it's too late.
Getting back and like picking up your own drums and like going to a bar and trying to connect people once again, you know, like that's cool for us. And we've been like kind of grateful, and it's like a way of like life telling you like, do you really want to be a musician? Because this is being a musician, getting everything together, packing it up and doing the show the next day again.
Show me the money or you ain't got no show.
There are some moments, obviously, when we went back home last year and played the show. There was like 8,000 people there, and it was just amazing to feel that love. You know, like, wow, this we still got it in a way. Like, oh, people still dig us, you know. And then we get back on the plane and we come to the States and we play these shows, and then you get that guy who had never heard the band before and is from Charlotte and comes after you, dude. I loved the band. And I gotta say, man, it's almost as rewarding as 4,000 people back home that are like already there with you, but having that new person join the club is totally worth it. It's like, okay, we did the right decision. So let's just hope we can be as successful here as we were back home, man. And then we're set.